Right, good afternoon. Up at Sherwood Pines. Thought I'd try and find a nice quiet spot just to do a bit of commentary. I can't believe how busy it is today. Loads and loads of people about. People obviously returning to the chalets, to the self-catering places that we've got up here. So there's a lot more people about today than I thought there would be. What I want to talk about, if you follow the channel, you'll have seen that I had a bit of an off a few weeks ago, nearly 3 weeks ago now. Wasn't a bad crash in terms of what I was doing, where I was riding. It's just one of those silly moments of a loss of concentration. Ended up knee planting the floor. At the time I just thought it was superficial, bit of skin damage. Carried on doing what I always do for the following 10 days until it got the better of me. Went to hospital, had an x-ray. Luckily nothing broken or fractured, but I got bursitis of the knee, and the doctors told me to stop doing what I was doing and rest until the swelling comes down, which is what I've been doing for the last week or so. It's absolutely done my head in, not being able to get out and ride my bike, go for a run, go for a walk, or even going to work where I'm normally quite active. It's been quite tough, and it's been quite tough mentally, far more than I thought it would be. I'm used to being out and about and doing stuff, and the prospect of sitting on the settee with a bag of frozen peas on my knee every day for a week has been very, very tough. And it's been quite mentally challenging as well, more so than I thought it would be. And I think it's quite easy to see how people can fall into that trap when they've been injured, whether they're off the bike, running, or doing whatever they love, and suddenly they have to stop. It is mentally draining, and just sitting on the sofa and doing next to nothing does start to take its toll on you. Okay, so whilst I'd consider myself reasonably fit, I'm by no means one of these health food junkies. I don't really watch what I eat at all. In fact, half the time I can just eat what I want and don't really have to worry about my weight. But this last week has taught me a couple of things. That as you get older, one, your body takes a lot longer to recover, and you need to start taking precautions. Certainly wearing pads is an absolute must, I think, now, because having an injury that takes 3, 4, 5, 6, however many weeks really is quite debilitating and soul destroying. And secondly, the older you get, the slower your metabolism gets. And whilst on a normal week when I'm fit and healthy I can eat what I want and do what I want, I'll just burn it off, sitting on the sofa for a week really has made me sit up and listen, or sit up and think. I put 9 pounds on in a week, which, alright, it's not a life-changing amount of weight, but I was gobsmacked just how quickly the weight started to creep on through not doing anything, and how quickly my mood started to deteriorate through not doing any exercise. Bottle of wine every night, a few cans every night with food, no exercise, just sitting on the TV feeling sorry for yourself is a recipe for disaster. And I think if you are somebody that struggles with your mental health, being in that situation really can put you in a dark place. So if you've got friends out there that you can reach out to when you're feeling like that, then you really should do that. I've seen some very sad news this week on Facebook that one of my friend's sons has died. He's only a young lad, don't know him, but when I read the post I was absolutely gutted. And it's becoming so common now that people are taking their own lives because they feel that low due to mental illness, that they find the only way out is to go and do that. I've not been in that dark place. I felt pretty shit, but I've been by no means feeling like that person must have felt at that time. But I have noticed that my mood has changed. I've not felt happy about myself. I've certainly not been happy when I've got on the scales. and it's not a nice place to be. So I'm now back on the bike. It's the first ride for 8 days. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm going to take it steady. I've come up to Pines, which is my favourite place. It's local to me. It's a good place for exercise. It's nice, it's scenic, there's nothing too demanding, but it is one of the best things that you can do for stress relief, and I think that's why I love this sport so much. I love running, and I've got the London Marathon coming up, and training starts for that in a few weeks' time, and I'm not as mentally prepared for that as I was over a year ago when I was ready for doing it and it got cancelled, and that's going to be quite tough, because I think since then mountain biking has become the sport that I favour and enjoy the most. And whilst I want to do the London Marathon and I will put in the time and training, my heart's not in it as much as it used to be. I think this is my favourite release now, and I think it's important for people to have some sort of release, because lots of people say it, that doing sport lifts your mood, makes you feel better, and I absolutely get that. I don't know what I'd do without having some sort of sporting activity to keep me sane. So that's enough of me waffling. It's been playing on my mind. I just wanted to get that out there, just in case there are people feeling in a similar situation. If you've had a nasty crash and you're off the bike, you're off doing what you can't do for a while, it can be quite lonely, but it's short-lived, and don't suffer in silence. If you've got friends out there, reach out to them. Don't be somebody that just sits and bottles it up and doesn't say how you're feeling. Just getting it off your chest can really help. So that's enough waffling. We're going to do a lap of the red route now and get them endorphins moving. Enjoy. Not as dry as last time I came. We've had a bit of rain this last week, so much needed. I'm ready for some sunshine again now. A day of rain's more than enough. I'm not breaking any records today, or bones. Knee seems okay so far. Still a bit of swelling, but I can live with this. Will eventually go. I think it can take up to about 8 weeks for it to fully disappear. Now that would have done my head in. Certainly telling me to sit on my arse for a week. This section was absolutely destroyed at one point. I've more or less put it back together, put a couple of nice little small jumps in, just keep you on your toes. The muddiest I've been for a while, but fully enjoyed it. Knees not feeling too bad. I don't know if you can hear that. That is thunder, and that is one seriously black sky over there. So I think it's going to be a wet ride home. But I just want to say I've really enjoyed being back out on the bike, and I've been only off it for a week, but it's felt like 6 months. My fitness has definitely dipped in just a week. Partly my fault because I've just been sat eating crap and feeling sorry for myself. So I guess if there's two things to take away from this video, it's one, as you get older you realise that you're not immortal, you're not invincible, and if you do hurt yourself it takes longer than when you were younger to heal. And secondly, if you're used to getting out and doing exercise, it is so easy to fall into that trap and let your mental health get the better of you. I've certainly felt it this last week with not being able to do what I love, being able to get out there on the trail, go out for a run, go out for a walk, and I think once you start down that slippery slope of drinking beer every night, drinking wine every night, it can very, very quickly become a habit, and it's not a habit that I want to get back into. It's really not done me any favours this week, but it has given me a bit of a wake-up call. So look after your bodies, you only get one, and just as importantly look after your mental health. Enough of the lectures, see you on the next one. Let's see if we can get home before the heavens open.